Let's get into main topic number 1. And our first main topic today gets submitted to us by James Argenta, who writes, the second trailer for Flash Season 7, maybe final season, debuted today. This led me to think, with the low ratings of Batwoman and Legends, final seasons of Black Lightning and Supergirl, and Berlanti already working on shows on HBOmax, are we in the final stages of the Arrowverse on the CW? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yeah, you're absolutely right. The new trailer came out for the Flash Season 7. Of course, we got our first look at Flash Season 7 back at DC Fandom. I think they released the first trailer for it then. They released a 1-minute look at it yesterday, and a special shout out to Brian Misfund, who sends in a super chat badge in the live chat. Thank you for that, Brian. And listen, if you've watched this show for any period of time, you know I'm a big fan of this show. I like The Flash very, very much. There was that one season, and I'm trying to remember the name of the character with the brain guy. Anyway, I can't remember the name of the character in it. DeVoe, that was it. The one season with DeVoe that I thought was pretty weak. But other than that season, I really liked this show, and I thought it was a bad idea. Like when they first announced that they were going to do this Flash show, I thought it was a bad idea. And then I watched that season 1, and I'm like, you know what? This is really good, and I've enjoyed it all the way through. Gotta say, I didn't like the new trailers for the new season. They look rather boring to me, to be honest with you. I'm rather a little bit bored, because part of the things he says in is like, how can I beat insert name of villain here when they're faster than me? Hasn't that been like the premise of 5 of the 7 seasons of The Flash? How can I possibly beat insert name of random villain when I don't have enough speed? I mean, this is the same thing again and again. So whatever. But it is interesting what you bring up in the topic, though, that to me is really the bigger question, which is when we now sit back and look at what's going on in the CW Arrowverse, is the whole thing getting ready to wrap up? Maybe. Now, this is what we talked about when it comes to The Flash itself and its new trailer. In Entertainment Weekly, they wrote, in the promo above, because the video is in there, Barry struggles to keep the faith as he prepares to face the all-powerful Mirror Mistress with his speed at 1%. On the upside, Caitlin / Killer Frost, Danielle Panbaker, returns earlier than planned. She was originally written out at the end of season 6 for maternity leave. And Barry appears to eventually open a portal to the Mirrorverse, which puts him one step closer to reuniting with a traumatized Iris. Curiously, the trailer also hints that Tom Cavanaugh will be pulling double duty once again when the show returns. Of course, Tom Cavanaugh played Reverse Flash, one of the strongest things about this show, to be honest with you. I love Tom Cavanaugh on this show. Good Canadian kid, by the way, Rob, Tom Cavanaugh. Just want to throw that out there. And I think he's been great in this show. But you do bring up some great points. Supergirl's now wrapping up. Black Lightning, which was another one that I thought looked kind of dumb and then I ended up really liking a lot, that's wrapping up. Legends of Tomorrow has always been a kind of on the edge show. Ratings dropping and falling. The Batwoman ratings were never good, but they've fallen through the floor. Arrow is obviously gone. And now it looks like The Flash is wrapping up. And Rob, they bring up a great point. Now, Greg Berlanti is now kind of half transitioned over, and he's getting ready to do, stuff on HBOmax. And so I will say this. Yeah, I think 2 years from now, and I could be completely wrong about this. I have no insider information whatsoever. This is me speculating based on what information we have in front of us. I think 2 years from now, there's no longer going to be a DC presence on CW. I think they are moving. We've talked ad nauseum about HBOmax being really desperate right now. I think they do want to focus all their attentions over there. The CW Arrowverse was great for a while. I think most fans kind of acknowledge that those great days of the CW Arrowverse are in the rearview mirror now. They're behind us. And I'll be surprised if 2 years from now there's any DC shows left on CW. That's my thoughts right now. Rob, you take a look at the situation. What do you think about all this?
I think you're probably not wrong. I mean, the CW, the Arrowverse, they had a great run.
Yes, they did.
They've done a lot of really fun shows. Those crossovers were epic, especially the Earth X one we always talk about. I think that, there's a great legacy there, and I know Berlanti, they're doing a Green Lantern series and all that, and they can probably stretch their wings a little bit more and tell different kinds of stories, and I think that's probably for the best.
What did you think about the new trailer for Flash?
Again, it just seems like kind of been there, done that. I mean, I really like Grant as the Flash, and
So do I.
I think he's great, and I really actually like most of the cast. I think the cast for that show is good, and everybody. But it's like, how many times are we going to watch? I think the show has demonstrated it's really hard to do an ongoing series with the Flash. You can only tell so many stories of the Scarlet Speedster before you run out of things to say.
Yeah. So, and hey, listen, every show comes to an end. And I think if season 7 is the final season, we don't know that it is. I'm kind of feeling like it is, but if season 7 ends up being the final season, even if it's a bad season, and I'm not saying it will be, I still think even if season 7 is bad, this is the final season. When we look back, I think The Flash, the show, you can't look at it as anything other than a success. It was a successful show. And it did things that a lot of doubters, like me, at first I thought it was a dumb idea, and it turned out to be really great. So, and when the Arrowverse does end, you're right, Rob. I think you have to look back and say, you know what? That had a surprisingly good run. Yeah. And it had a good amount of fans. So there's that. Question is for you guys. What do you think about this? Number one, what did you think about the new trailer for season 7 of Flash? And what are you guys thinking is the ultimate fate here of the CW Arrowverse? Do you think it's still got another 5-6 years left in it? Do you think maybe it's kind of drawing to a close? Maybe this new Superman show is the last kind of hurrah for them? Maybe not. Maybe you think they still got a long future. Whatever it is you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and leave us your thoughts. Okay, guys.